jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Hey, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know WCS is the first in the MF building. Shout out to Mike on deck, Christopher Williams on deck. Salute to y'all. See you. What's good with it, man? Haynes Legacy on deck. Salute to you, brother. Arnold Brown on deck. What's good? Shout out to all those supporters who are inbound, who subscribe to the channel. Pass the word. You know what I'm saying? Pass the word. So you know, the channel continue to get attention. I'm gonna put attention instead of growth, because I'm not in control of the growth. You know. You know. They want to pick and choose on when they want to allow subscribers to be added to my count. You know what I'm saying? I've been sitting at the same ones and be getting newer subscribers all the time. Anyway, back to the topic as I was saying earlier, okay? Let's get down to some points of understanding. All right? There's a situation, a huge situation that's been popping off. And look, first of all, let me back up. Those of you that was telling me in the chat, appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? It was my fault. I was doing something. I had to, you know, take care of something with the fam. And I wasn't paying attention to what y'all was saying in the chat. And I was in the process of trying to pretty much pay attention to this Diddy situation, because I wanted to kind of give you an update on the Diddy situation. And I didn't know they had ads and some other news is switched over. But salute to y'all, man. Appreciate the FYI. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't paying the AT&T. But back to the point of interest. So as y'all already know, right? There was a time when I had put the boxing fight co up there for Hearn Ennis. And at that time, I graded him as a fair fighter. Just a fair FICO score. He was fair. That's it. Comparable to Crawford, right? And the reason why I did that was, you know, just based off the criteria, the grading criteria of his resume and who he is as a fighter and everything else. I don't dislike Hearn at all. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that understand. He's done nothing for me to dislike him as a person. Strictly boxing talk to the juveniles that continue to you know, put that perception out there that I'm hating on freaking Hearn Ennis. I just wish you would be more than willing to crack open the dictionary. Those of you that keep on using the same terms all over again. You know, there's other learning priorities out there for you to enhance your education. Do the shit like I did. Nobody taught me, you know, told me, you know. I just said, okay, let's go out here and goddamn be a thievesman every now and then. You know, just have it within your verbal repertoire. That's all. But back to Hearn Ennis. Him and Crawford at one point in time has faced David Avanesian, and we already know what happened when Crawford did it in devastating fashion, and we all seen what happened when Hearn Ennis attempted to replicate what Crawford did in Omaha, Nebraska. All right. I just thought it was my duty to put that out there again. That's all. To put it out there and remind you all that he didn't stop Avanesian. Avanesian stopped the fight because the doctor wanted to act like Avanesian didn't want to go on anymore, which was absolutely false. But speaking about boxing FICO scores, people may have been, frowned or looking some type of disappointed when I brought this up initially. Now they get where I was coming from with the boxing FICO because he showed it with the David Avanesian fight, right? And then not only that, he pretty much put it on display again with his negotiations with Brian Norman, like I said earlier. You're talking about countless amount of fees and hundreds of $1,000s being paid out to where a fighter is left at what they net after all expenses, taxes, and everything else paid. So if Crawford did it and it worked out to his benefit, why wouldn't it be beneficial for it to happen again in this case? Being that there was so much to pay out. Not only that, once the negotiations were drafted, Adrian Clark isn't the one who put out the numbers. He's the one that responded to the numbers once Eddie Hearn put that out to the general public. He put them out there. But yet, you heard Adrian Clark criticize, from people who pretend to be a manager. They pretend to have license. They pretend to have a fighter. But you can't find no record of it. You can't find no record of these so-called managers. But goddamn it, all of these, cereal box qualified individuals were speaking on the numbers that was between Jaron Ennis and Brian Norman to the point where it fell out. It seemed like the boxing fans was disappointed once again. So with that being the way it is, you know what happens, right? They go on this mean streak of having a vendetta against the fighters. So they was on there trolling the shit out of Brian Norman, right? But then for Boots, they was saying, oh, Boots about to go over here and he's about to fight this fighter. Knowing goddamn well they did not want to see him fight Karen again. Like, they spoke on it as if it was a desperation for us never to witness the Karen bout again. So, common sense to me is saying Eddie Hearn would have did enough to basically erase any memory of this freaking fight. Right now. I'm talking about just right now. To erase any memory at this point in time and to give us a fight that we wanted to see. You know what I'm saying? Two newly crowned champions at 147 pounds. Give us what we want. That's all we ask. Give it what we want. Then when some days went out, once the negotiation with Norman and Ennis fell apart, now, we're waiting for the next step. We're waiting to see what happened with Ennis because he's supposed to be the more popular fighter, right? We found out that Eddie Hearns jumped the hatch. Popped that motherfucker. Eddie Hearns was out. Parachute, everything, gone. He said 250,000 wasn't something he wanted to play ball with, so he was gone. We're talking about a newly signed fighter. Shakur Stevenson went through this embarrassment. I'm serious. Shakur Stevenson went through this embarrassment to the point where it was all about money here and there. People was up here saying, okay, he's fighting Joe Cordina, a lower weight division coming up to fight him. Okay, we'll give him a pass. You know what I'm saying? We'll give him a pass. It's okay. But Shakur Stevenson didn't receive that ridicule because he's a 3-weight world champion. That's FACTZ, a Z. Facts. Okay? He's a 3-weight world champion. These cats that we was just looking at, the young bulls as they call them, they're on their first division as a world champion. So we was really eager to see how this played out. We get the Karen fight on deck. Eddie Hearn bailout, retreat, egress from the goddamn purse bid. And now we hear that the one who has the juice is Corinne, and potentially Jerron Ennis may have to go to Germany. With that said, we're puzzled. We're befickled. That's not even a word. We're befickled to hear that the new signee, the phenom of all phenoms, may have to go over to Germany to fight Corinne in a rematch. A fight that probably would host, let me see, staff, 16, 17, 18, then the light crew, the concession people. Let me see. I'd say it's probably about 77, 78 people would be in attendance over there to watch that fight if it was in Germany. Yeah, about 78, give or take. Right? That includes the camera crew people, the staff for you know, matchroom and all that, and then the concession people to sell some food, hot dogs, donuts and all that coke and shit, and the janitors and security. Yeah, a little bit more. I'll say about 83, 84 people in attendance. But then if you flip that over and you find out information that Eddie Hearn is attempting to try to somehow negotiate himself into the backyard of Jerron Ennis to speak on a fighter that somehow was given leverage. Like, we're not even talking about poker on this motherfucker. We can talk about the casino. It's not even considered gambling. It's just, it gives me Christmas vibes. Like they just gave Korean motherfucking a whole big tall glass of juice. You know what I'm saying? They gave this man the juice. Here, complimentary on us. You sure? I thought Jerron Ennis supposed to. No. Go ahead. There's nothing in it. There's no Diddy roofie in there. You're good. Just hydrate. You got the juice now. They gave this man the juice. And I was on here saying, I wonder did Hearn talk it over with Ennis to know that he was going to egress from this freaking purse bid. Now, right, we can't be naive, respectfully, to think that Eddie Hearn is not going to have to dig into the purse, into the monetary bag. You trying to tell me that Ennis is not going to be, penalized for Eddie Hearn making that mistake? Whatever money they discussed initially, you trying to tell me that the penalty is not going to affect Ennis to have that fight in Philly once again due to a favor from Corinne? Due to a favor, yo. You trying to tell me they're not going to have to pay this man so that the fight can be in Philly once again with Bam Bam Rodriguez on the card? That is just insane to think that anyone that has any I'm talking about average reservoir of knowledge about the sport would know that Corinne haven't had a 5, 10, 15, $20 million payday in the sport, right? So if they've been dreaming about this moment to be the A side, the leverage against a top tier name, right? Not an interim champion. We're talking about a world champion this time. The first time he fought Ennis, it was for the interim. This time he's fighting him for the world championship. And you think a human being that has not been a part or been in favor of a high paycheck, a high purse, is not going to negotiate, to make sure they're accommodated whole? You know what I'm saying? They ain't definitely going to do it, yo. They're going to make them pay, dog. They don't really give a fuck about, fighting over here in America, and except to make a paycheck here and there. But this is their golden ticket, God damn it. Corinne is saying, I want what I want. If not, you're going to come over here to Germany. And you know how it's gonna be. Let the scorecards go to the let it go to the scorecards over here and let's see what the numbers look like. Eddie know goddamn well he's not trying to allow that to happen. And with that is why I have been on record as making a point about Jerron Ennis's FICO score. I also did put that up there on a previous live. I put this up here about promoters and managers. Promoters like Top Rank and Matchroom Boxing play a crucial role in organizing fights and marketing boxers. Managers handle the careers of boxers, negotiating contracts and ensuring pay attention, ensuring their fighters get the best opportunity. So is Hearn ensuring that Jerron Ennis is getting the best opportunity just because he's negotiating a deal for Corinne to relinquish his leverage to come over here and fight in the backyard of Jerron Ennis a second time? No. There's some bits and pieces missing, bro. There's some steps that you didn't prioritize correctly early. This never should have been where we at now, especially leading to Corinne having the juice. We had two champions in the same division that was priority, and that's where we should have stayed. The 500,000 should have been accommodated, and we should have been waiting for this fight to happen in November. But we all know that's not the case, and it does me it does me no good to continue to talk about it. But when this frustration that sets in amongst the boxing fan, it must be talked about. People try to criticize, managers for not doing their job and walking away, and people that's barely cracking 15 grand annually, grossing. They want to come over here and talk about, oh well, so and so's making 17 times what he made, not knowing a mother effing thing about the business of boxing, except creating the thumbnail and knowing how to set up their freaking streaming service and going live. Serious. That's pretty much where we at with it. This should have been the fight that we was anticipating for November. This should have been the fight right here. Slap the 500 stacks on there, and that's what we should have been paying attention to. But it didn't happen because Hearn dropped the ball. I think with Hearn, when it came down to Corinne, he probably looked at it like, yeah, I got caught slipping. I really don't care because at the end of the day, if I really have to make some concessions for Corinne, it's not going to affect me either way. When he'll hype up his fighters that he signed, but what goes on behind closed doors, he probably didn't even call, or meet with Jerron Ennis. He probably just told him, hey, I'm trying to negotiate your hometown, and that's gonna come with a toll. We're gonna have to pay a toll for Corinne to come over here and fight in your backyard. And you know where that's coming from? You know where that deduction is coming from? Your purse. Now you gotta have it one way or the other. You want to continue to build up your presence over here in Philly? Okay. You want to be the main event? Okay. You're gonna have to take less money. Yes, it's gonna be less money than Norman Jr. making in his next fight, but we don't care about that. Because we'll revisit this and we'll try to make him pay again when y'all revisit, hopefully for a unification match. Then we'll try to return and try to finagle our way into the negotiation and try to make some of them pennies back. That's what Hearn was. That's where Hearns was at. Let's go back to the article I was reading earlier. It said, Hearn said, they will take, let me see. Once again, they're hoping and wishing and dreaming, you know what I'm saying, on a nice hangover. We'll take that fight right now. He wants that fight bad, said Hearn about whether Boots Ennis will move up to 154 and fight against that Omaha monster, Terrence Crawford, if it was offered to him. Of course. Of course. Of course you would want to do that. Because you desperate now. Of course. It goes on to say Crawford versus Ennis. Fight would never happen because Hearn would never be able to negotiate that matchup without His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh stepping in to come up with the finances. With Hearn nickel and diming. I like that. I like that. Nickel and diming and trying to negotiate deals on Boots Ennis' behalf, he would never be able to put together a fight against Crawford. The Nebraska native would likely want $20 million for a fight against Boots Ennis, which would put Hearn in a state of shock. Hey, kudos to this author. Kudos for your words and how you basically, your description going off the thought process was perfected, because Hearn attempted to nickel and dime Norman Jr. Team Norman Jr. Yeah, try to nickel and dime. And also I like how you said Crawford will likely want 20 million. Yes, he's worth more. You know, there are certain human beings out here who have shown their cards plenty of time to be Crawford haters, right? And they, every time the Crawford comes up for a negotiation, what they do, they always start off with what he doesn't deserve. You know what I'm saying? He don't deserve this. He don't deserve that. He ain't did this. He ain't did this. He ain't did that. So since he ain't did this and that and this and that and that and that and this, man, he should just fight for free. Them are the mother effing Crawford haters, yo. They don't never want to give that man any type of lead when it comes to negotiating and his status quo as one of the top fighters in the world globally. See, Canelo, he can go up here and get 30 million for fighting Edgar Bologna. But Crawford, he has Turkey Al Sheikh behind him, who you know, and the monetary machine, the Brinks train railway system. If he goes up here and asks for 20, 25 million to fight Boots, people will be talking about it's not fair, but it's clearly fair. But we're not talking about that because he don't deserve a fight with Crawford right now. They want to stay at 147. They don't want that firepower up there at 154. They don't want this to be old school video games when it first came out, Tekken, old Mortal Kombat. They don't want to take it to the combat field with this type of freaking ammunition and firepower. They don't want that smoke up at 154. So they're inclined to continue to drain themselves and hoping and praying on a wish that they're able to cut weight accordingly and they don't get caught slipping. That's what they have going on. They're hoping and praying they get past Norman Jr. And then they're assuming that the other champions is going to be easy work. I'm telling you. See, Mario Barrios, according to how he looked with Abel Ramos, we'll get an opportunity to see, and then Brian Norman in his next fight. And then whenever Stantionis is no joke either. So Team Ennis is planning to stay at the 147-pound division. But right now, what a lot of people, including myself, is concerned about is how do you continue to be in inclement weather every time you're getting settled in boxing? How can you run into thunder, lightning, and goddamn sleet and snow, goddammit? Did somebody put a hex on Jerron Ennis? Why every time that they have something big coming up, it's something crazy and weird happen, bro? Like you say to yourself, Enough is enough. Is enough. Enough is enough. How much of this do we have to endure? Like every time we're thinking it's time to watch him spread his wings, you know what I'm saying? Visualizing a condor, you know, flying, cruising. He give us a chickling that has stumbled out the nest and fell 26 feet to the ground and hopping around trying to stay alive so he won't get eaten. This shit is crazy, yo. Hearns left you out there to dry with 250, but yet you may have to come out 250 just to have Corinne fighting your hometown, and that deduction may be from your own personal purse? Man, this is unfreaking believable, bro. You know what I'm saying? Am I qualified to put in a goddamn adverse complaint to the HR? Where's the HR number? Anybody got the HR number in boxing, yo? Does anybody can y'all drop that HR number, please? You know what I'm saying? I need to put in an anonymous. No, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put WCS on there. I have to let them know it's coming from me. I do. I want to be a part. Maybe by the time Ennis does figure it out, I'm in the process. Just like they keep on trying to get a union for boxing, I'm also trying to establish the IRB. I don't think y'all knew that, but I'm trying to establish an IRB for boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be the chief, the executive, you know what I'm saying, officer, the founder of the IRB. All right? The Institution Review Board. I want to be able to receive grievances and be able to make a sound, qualified judgment on those grievances. Yes, that's what we need. I'm working on the IRB. I'm working to be the head of the IRB when it comes to boxing. Because we definitely need, you know, for fighters to have the resources if they feel that they was robbed. If they feel like their promoters are not in their best interest, when you drop out a freaking negotiation and then find yourself headed overseas to fight in somebody else's backyard when you were supposed to be the main attraction. Something ain't right. This boxing shit be making you work too much, man. All the encoding, decoding. You know what I'm saying? All the deciphering. This shit make you work too much. Like you be asking yourself, like, damn, how could this happen with somebody of the stature of Eddie Hearn? How did this happen? How could he slide on Norman for 5, slide out the purse bid for 2.5, and then you have to slide back in your pockets and appease Corinne to keep this fight over here in Philly? How does that qualify Eddie Hearn on the highest level, bro? How does that qualify your expertise in negotiating as one of the top managers in it? I mean, top promoters in the game, bro. How, man? That shit don't make any sense to me. That shit makes no sense at all, bro. So that's why I was pretty much being vocal early in my live about Bam Bam Rodriguez. Bam Rodriguez, a star. In my eyes, Bam Rodriguez is a superstar. Bam Rodriguez, a 2-division champion. And though it's 2 divisions, Bam Rodriguez, the way he went about it was absolutely, it should be exemplified as excellence. The way he went up there and fought Carlos Kudros and then saw Ron Fasad, came back down, you know, and had his bout with freaking Sonny Edwards. you know what I'm saying, for unification, and then moved back up there and fought the man that he should have fought, who became franchise champion before, and wanted to sit up there and fight Roman Gonzalez, and nobody was calling for that fight. They didn't want to see that no more. And he finally got his shot. He basically clean and white glove the division, because Sor Rungfasai was in line to fight freaking Juan Estrada before he received the franchise belt. But the man himself, Bam Bam, came in with the revolver. He had goddamn unholstered that revolver, and the trigger was to the rear. Bang, 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 bang. He knocked Sor Rungfasai out, dipped out, vacated the titles, came back. You miss me? Did you miss me? Now he's about to fight. Juan Estrada goes in there and gives that man a motherfucking whooping. A performances like Bam Bam, that's who should be the main headliner in Philly. Hey, I'm just calling it the way it is. You know what I'm saying? I know some black people gonna be all, man, you know, they're gonna start chirping like some, like, oh man, WCS. Sometimes I dig him, sometimes I don't. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know I'm telling the truth. Bam is a way more exciting fighter than Boots, with your eyes open, with your eyes closed, god damn it. Sober or inebriated, god damn it. He's a way more exciting fighter. If he's on the card, it's a setup. It's a setup, y'all. WCS is gonna put it out there like I put out a lot of shit, and some people pay attention, sometimes it don't. But it just seems like this arrangement that's going on over there with Ennis signing, somebody is over there with some hex or something, because he has not had smooth running. He fight Avanesian, and the doctor had to come in there and save him. He's supposed to get a unification. It fell apart. Team members don't know who wants to do what. I didn't hear anything about him going up to this and that. We're going to fight for undisputed here. Certain individual, Bozy, didn't know that they was trying to negotiate with Norman. It's just so messy, bro. And then the shit fall apart. Drop out the purse bid. He's going over to Germany. Now they're trying to slide and pay out a huge stipend for him to stay in Philly. And then news break that Bam Rodriguez is going to be on the card. That's a setup if I ain't never seen one. Let me tell you what I mean. You trying to tell me? Now check this setup out. This is why people are not understanding why I said Bam should be the headliner. Hear me out, man. I don't have time at my young age to be explaining shit 5.5 times. If Bam Rodriguez is the freaking co-main event, if you think there were individuals walking out in Newark, New Jersey, okay, when Shakur Stevenson's fight was over, well, you better goddamn pay off the cameraman that don't they dare pan and do a pan across the goddamn arena once Bam Rodriguez fight is over. For real. Because it's gonna be like they have it's concession it's concession stands running low on burgers. Are they selling free drinks? I mean, do they have a full blown Pizza Hut? You know, buy one get one free special going on out there. Where's everybody? Where's everybody at? Are they giving away free bottles of Hennessy, Black Label? What are they doing out there? Is the food trucks all lined up? I mean, where's everybody? It's a setup, y'all. If Bam Rodriguez fights the co-main event, somebody better make damn sure them cameramen have some extra fluff in they pockets. Because goddamn it, they pan through that motherfucker, boy, you're gonna see the backs, more backs, and more backs, and then they're gonna be on here telling you a lie. Well, to be honest with you, we do have AI, and And when I was there, I said to myself, it's a packed house, it's sold out. They're here to see Ennis. Yes, Ben Rodriguez had a great fight. But all I seen over there, people enjoying popcorn, glizzies, burgers. They was getting crazy drunk. It's AI, amazing AI. Because what I seen was a massive crowd. That's what I seen, a massive. Eddie Hearn's gonna be on here trying to convince people he's seen a massive packed house. Mark my words, people. You think Shakur Stevenson walk out with something serious? Let Bam Rodriguez be the goddamn co-feature. Let the sabotage happen. See, only somebody like myself would think of something to this extent where people will say, man, we tired of you drafting your thoughts, man. God damn. Nigga, you're always thinking and abusing your thought process. Convey your thoughts a little different, God damn it. You're abusing it, man. Fuck the freedom of speech. I ain't see shit on there about freedom of thinking. Chill. You're doing too much, man. I'm just saying, y'all, at the end of the day, WCS has basically gave you a clear understanding to help you out that if Ben Rodriguez is the headliner, I am asking for anybody that may be in close proximity or working with the promotion to ensure that within that money that Corinne Chudigan is getting, there needs to be another extended stipend to pay out the cameramen that would be in a local proximity or the production people to make sure that after Bam Rodriguez, the co-headliner, is over, whatever you do, don't pan out to the seats. Because goddamn it, no one in Philly wants to see Jaron Ennis fight Corinne. This is a freaking sabotage. And see, y'all, I didn't get a chance to get it out earlier today, but I'm telling you, I'm making sense. Yeah, it's gonna be a salt tablet, no motherfucking chaser for Jaron Ennis to swallow. Goddamn it, you're gonna have to goddamn take that shit after eating a whole package of saltine crackers. Goddamn it, yes, you need to be the co-feature. And you need to have Boxing Nerd there holding your motherfucking spit bucket so he can see them people walking away. You know what I'm saying? So he can come back and report. Because if Jaron Ennis is the main event, it is a motherfucking sabotage to this day, to this day, to this day. Watch what I tell you. Let Ennis go after Bam Bam. Let Ennis fight after Bam Bam in the main event, and it's over for him. Watch what I tell you. Don't no one in Philly, no one wants to see Jaron Ennis fight Corinne after he just was there fighting David Abanesian. I don't care what the ring walk is. I don't care him dancing, looking around like it's a hip hop video, a goddamn concert. No, bro. No. It's a setup. It's a setup, y'all. Man, Team Ennis don't see it, bro. They're going to thank me later. You let Bam Rodriguez go before you, you're going to think people walking in reverse. You're going to think they goddamn catching the people walking down the stairs backwards. Hey, we just wanted to put this this app modification, this new app that we decided to use, this AI app. And it's amazing. You know, if you look out the way we're looking out here in the audience, it seems like they're actually leaving, but they're actually coming. You know what I'm saying? This is not the actual arena tonight. But that was, you know, they're gonna start making up shit. This is when Shakur Stevenson, when, you know, at his fight, and you had patrons leaving the building. This is not today. No matter what the date is on this footage, it is not tonight. This was when Shakur Stevenson fought. Yeah, that was patrons leaving, but we We put that out there, but we can make them go in reverse. These are just little AI, you know what I'm saying, insertions for people walking out to the concession stands. They're not leaving the arena. I know it's a massive freaking withdrawal, after the Bam Rodriguez fight. But like I said, this is not the actual patrons tonight. And what you see here is just AI effects where they're actually going to get a nice cold beverage, because this is what they've been waiting for, y'all. The main event. This is the fight everybody's been talking about. Jaron Ennis and Koran Chudik. Oh my God. I heard they have specials out there on combinations and everything. Drinks are freaking buy one, get three free. Come on. I'm telling you, y'all. It's a mother effing setup. Team Ennis, if you're listening, sometimes champions don't always get the prize. That's all. You may not. Champions don't always get the prize, man. You always don't. You always don't get the benefit of the doubt, Ennis. You are in your backyard. I understand that. You have fought at Wells Fargo and you wants to return. I know it would be an absolute travesty if you reappear at the same Wells Fargo Center and you on the co-main event of a Bam Rodriguez. But listen, that too shall pass, homie. That too shall pass. I'm just saying, if you think you have what it takes just because you're in Philly to go after Bam Rodriguez, if you think for one eye blink and a sneeze and two coughs that you're going to go after Bam Rodriguez in your hometown and the patrons are going to stay there for your ring, man, come on, bro. You might get them for your ring walk. But I'm telling you like this, once that opening bell ring, don't you be doing that shit you always do, looking out into the crowd, talking to your people. Your people may not be there. yeah. He might get motherfuckers laughing at you like Steve Harvey. he didn't think them boxing fans was be out here, did he? Yeah. Boy, you stupid, boy. Boy, you stupid. You're up there talking to empty seats, boy. Yeah, boy, you out your mind. You know what I'm saying? You better chill. Let me get back serious, bro. Let me get back serious. Shout out to those of you that's in the chat. Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. I see you. What's good with you? Christopher White on deck. Damn, Bud would never be fighting on Bam's undercard at this point in his career. No, never. But one thing we know, Haynes, right? One thing we know, in a state of competence, first and foremost, we understand that Bud Crawford and Ennis are two different fighters. And also, as you heard my scenario, it just was a scenario that I believe it would be a straight up, clear cut sabotage if Ennis attempts to go after Bam Rodriguez in Philly at the Wells Fargo Center. See, the only time that Ennis' name can be in association with Bud Crawford is in a clout chasing conversation. That's all. There's no way on contract that we will be having this same discussion as WCS is putting out there. There's no way. Nobody else. If they selected to attempt to bite what I'm saying and say, well, Crawford, they look stupid, because you can't say, well, Crawford, he don't want to go after so and so. You know what I'm saying? Because Crawford would be the headliner. Period. That's just the way it is. Bud would be the headliner, regardless. Ennis, in this case, he's coming off an okay marginal performance against Avanesian. You know what I'm saying? He's coming off an okay performance. And then, not only to return back to the arena, but Avanesian has a better resume than Koran Chudik. So therefore, though he stepped in there and fought top names and then come out on top, he still answered the bell to fight them. Just like I said about Mario Barrios' resume being the best resume at 147 pounds. But in this specific scenario, factoring in his low FICO score, Bam Rodriguez, people want to see Bam Rodriguez. Bam Bam, people want to see him. Yes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You want to talk about the value of excitement when it comes to the boxing report card and FICO score. Jaron Ennis and Bam Bam Rodriguez is not even in the same freaking earth. Not on the same freaking planet. And he's only a 2-division champion. But when you grade him based off his performance value, I will look at a Bam Rodriguez fight any day of the week than any of Jaron Ennis's fights. Even in the Ramon Villa, who just got stopped again. I'm surprised these people ain't up here ranting and raving talking about, well, you know, Ramon Villa was never the same after Ennis. Ennis damaged that boy. Ennis damaged that boy. You notice they're not talking about that, right? He just got stopped again. Nobody's talking about Ennis damaged Ramon Villa, damaged that boy, did him dirty. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It was a style made in heaven for him to win that fight. Okay, cool. But when you want to talk about Bam Rodriguez fights, even with Sor Rungvisai, we can throw Sonny Edwards in there. I mean, we can throw Juan Estrada. Man, it's just too many of his recent fights that they're not even in the same stratosphere, bro. They're not. Bam Rodriguez stays, you know what I'm saying, on course the way he is. He's going to do amazing thing. I don't know, him being a small guy, I don't know how high he can go. You know, I'm pretty sure he's going to definitely go to bantamweight when it's right. I see him picking up a title at bantamweight. Okay? And then 122, we'll see. But all I know is, if you're truly a Jaron Ennis fan and you in this chat, do me a favor. Do me a favor. I don't know if y'all into carrier pigeons, or do y'all have any type of trained storks, eagles, hawks? I don't know what you're working with. I mean, I don't know what you've been training in your backyard. But if you can do me a favor and basically send some messages over there to Philly and say, whatever you do, don't be the main event on that night. Hey, you better off going over to Germany. You know what I'm saying? Somebody better send some birds over there and send that message. Drop that message off. Real talk. Drop it off. You better off going over to Germany, goddammit. Because if you stay your ass over here in Philly in your backyard and Bam Rodriguez is a co-headliner, goddammit, mark my mother effing words. It's a setup, bro. It's a setup, and they're going to be out that arena, and they're not going to dare pan that damn camera around that arena when Bam Rodriguez finished fighting. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. We don't need a jury for this shit. No Diddy. Shout out to the sports channel on that. The question is, who is Booth's manager? My understanding is Eddie Hearn is the promoter, and it's not necessarily his manager. You're correct. You cannot be a promoter and the manager. So therefore, Bozy, from my understanding, was supposed to be the assigned manager once the situation was consummated with Wow Promotions for the late Cameron Duncan. You know what I'm saying? Once that was over, from my understanding, what the information was put out there, that Bozy was the manager. A person who did not know, supposedly, allegedly, that they was trying to negotiate a fight with Norman Jr. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I heard. I thought Boots was moving up, but I don't know. No. They pretty much made it crystal clear that Boots, His intentions is to unify the 147-pound division. And people, I'm going to go out and put this declaration out there too. I'd be surprised from this date, September 17th, to the year 2025. Let's just say to September 2025. I don't foresee a huge amount. No, take that back. I don't see an advancement of Jaron Ennis closing the distance on these champions at 147 pounds from this date to 2025, September 17th. I don't see him closing the gap because first of all, he's a big 147 pounder. And yes, he has a beard on his face. So you really, if he cut that beard off, you're talking about a motherfucking Ethiopian when he's going to weigh in. You're talking about people saying, they up there gasping. Give me my inhaler. Give me my inhaler. A penny a day. Just a penny a day. Feed that man. I don't know if Jaron Ennis has what it takes to successfully stay in the 147-pound, balance the scales out for the weight limit, because he's a big 147-pounder. And look, you have to factor in this too. He's 27 years of age. No one, and I mean no one, is predicting Jaron Ennis to be undisputed by December of 2025. So that means he will be a 28-year-old that's going, once again, well, however this shit is working out, I don't fucking know, bro. But I do not see, him picking up another year and getting bigger. A lot can change in a matter of months. And saying, I'm just going to stay right here at 147 pounds. And the crazy part about it, 147 pounds is like a pool in the winter. Where's the liquid? Where how deep can you go in the 147-pound division looking for quality opposition? Huh? Where are the QOs? You're talking about spending a whole nother year and a half to close out 2025, trying to unify, knowing damn well you might not get the fight after fight after fight, and they all champions. Barrios is about to fight Abel Ramos next. Boots is trying to figure it out. Brian Norman has a fight coming up in November. We don't know what Stantionis. So the truth be said, it's almost like a maze right now. And the depth of quality opponents at 147, I'm telling you, it's not like that. So who's going to be able to dance with Boots? How long is it going to take Ennis to unify the division? How long is it going to take? If and when he ever fight Norman Jr., is it going to be a rematch clause in there? Seriously, is it going to be a rematch clause in there? That's going to take up time. So you're talking about 29 years of age, investing all this freaking tenure in 147 pounds. And then, and only then, you want to move up to 154 after you unify. Now you're breaching the front porch of 30s. You know what I'm saying? You're right there. Now you're going in there in your 30s, and whatever you're trying to do at 150, man. What Ennis is going to allow to happen if he don't press the gas is he going to allow some of these 140 pounders to move up to 147 pounds. Some of these champions might have those cojones to say, I want to fight this champion up here at 147 pounds. They may try to put a wrench in everything. You still got Teofimo Lopez whenever he figure out what the fuck he want to do. So I'm telling you, it's not a clear path. This is not a clear path. This is not b-ball, y'all. This is not a clear path for Jaron Ennis to unify like Crawford and Spence. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just throwing it out there for you. I told y'all Team Ennis is the worst team in boxing.
Hey man, hopefully they can improve. I don't dislike the team at all when it comes to just personal. I don't know the dude personally. I just feel like every time I turn around, he's goddamn struggling to stay above a bowl of spaghetti. He be drowning in a bowl of spaghetti and shit. Somebody give me the fork. Get me out of here. I'm like, God damn, why are you in that motherfucker, man? I thought Victory Promotion, that Wild Promotion. I thought you was on the track. You was a free agent, and then you signed. You got all the publicity, clout chasing Crawford's name for Matchroom. I thought you was on the launch pad. I thought you was heading to higher goddamn levels. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was leveling up, and this might end up like Demetrius Boo Boo. Mm, 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 mm. Damn. And you know what? That's not the first time I heard that. Oh, Demetrius Andrade, a 2 division champion. Mm, mm, mm. Everybody say he got the talent to fight the talent. You know what I'm saying? That's what they said about Boo Boo. I don't know, man. That's not the first time I heard it. And it's crazy how people are just trying. They're now putting that in their language. Jerron Ennis might be like Dimitri Boo Boo. You gotta understand. They both have them aliases who would be. All you have to do is put a T and an S on Boo Boo. You got Boots. You got Boots. You got Boots Ennis, and you got Boo Boo Andrade. You know what I'm saying? Shit. That shit get crazy, y'all. Bam Rodriguez should be headlining his own card, boxing wise. Bam has done more than Ennis at this point, and I'm in agreement. But at the end of the day, um, how boxing, how they be definitely trying to figure the boxing schedule out nearing the end of the annual calendar. So sometimes fighters got to get in where they fit in. And it still looks good on Bam staying active, getting his name out there, and he should feel really good about being put on a card to kind of provide us some life. You know what I'm saying? You feeling what your worth is when they need you to come over there and give some life to a card, bro. Of course, Bam has did way more than Ennis. Of course, I'll look at a Bam Rodriguez fight before I look at an Ennis fight. Of course. But Bam should feel real good. I don't know what his paycheck looking like, but they needed him on this card to provide some freaking life, a pulse into this fight card at Wells Fargo. But the wild part about it, Bam is in fight camp right now, and he doesn't even know if he's going to be fighting in Philly because Bam is not going over to Germany. You know what I'm saying? He's not going over there. If this fight goes over to Germany, Bam ain't going over to Germany to be on no card, bro. It's not happening. Shout out to the boxing queen Jessica in the building. What's good with you? I see you on deck. Arnold Brown on deck. Band on deck. What's good? What's good? That's how I seen it. Now the boxing FICO doesn't seem so foreign, huh? Now you get what I was talking about Ennis's boxing FICO being extremely low, considering how he goes about business. You know what I'm saying? There's an absence in criticism, vice what we used to hear on a regularity when it came to Crawford moving funny and doing bad business. They don't want to talk about Ennis because he was supposed to be the next up with the hand in the back method to push him along once Errol Spence was defeated. But see, Jerron Ennis have even less of a personality. Spence has a personality now. When Spence used to talk his shit, just go back to when he was talking that shit with Kell Brook. He was talking some real shit. He was saying, you ain't in there with them small fighters no more. You in there with somebody bigger than you. You ain't fighting no small motherfucker. I'm in your face. I mean, Spence was talking his shit. But the one downfall about Jaron Ennis that he needs to work on for his marketing is his personality and his media training. Somebody need to get him some media training there, Bozy. Seriously, this guy needs PR training. You understand me? He cannot continue to take blows outside the ring with the media criticizing him for having personality, and no one wants to hear him say the same thing over and over again every fight. What is he gonna say next time he's in? If this fight happens to go in Philly, oh man, it's good to be at home. You know what I mean? And it's like I kick my feet up, and it's like being at home. I'm very comfortable. I've been thinking about this since 2018. Very comfortable, very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go back to sleep. I don't like talking on the camera too much, but I just want to let y'all know. It's just like, kicking my feet up and I'm comfortable and everything. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be home once again. You got to do more than that, big dog. You got to pump it up a little bit. I mean, y'all, your man is only 27 years old. He has plenty of time to work on his PR. He has to break out of that shit. I'm just trying to provide you some resources. I'm just trying to critique you a little bit and give you some pros and cons on something that would definitely activate the interest of Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody to teach you how to hold down the shift button, the shift key, that Ennis, and capitalize on when you're talking to the media. For real, that Ennis. Listen to me. Listen to me. I mean, I'm on your side in saying this, bro. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna take too much time on it. But remember, I said that. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I said that. It's an article out here talking about Jaron Ennis' possible co-headliner Bam Rodriguez. Say unbeaten super flyweight champion Just Bam Rodriguez is a sensational, out of this world phenomenon. Oh my God. Can you put words with dashes in between them and link them and concatenate them all together? What? Out of this world phenomenon. Isn't that what they're supposed to be saying about you, Jaron? They said you was the phenom. You was the Roy Jones and all that. Damn. Reveal weekly WBC news conference that Rodriguez will defend his belt November 9th in Philadelphia against WBC interim champion Pedro Guevara of Mexico. So they putting this out here like the shit is actually going to be in Philly. Okay. So obviously they're they jumped through hoops and they was able to pay off Korean. That's what I'm reading on this article on boxingscene.com. Guevara, 42 victories opposite of 40 defeats and 1 draw, 22 knockouts, announced that he'll meet the 24-year-old Rodriguez, 20-0, 13 knockouts at the WBC event, with Ring Magazine reporting the news first on Tuesday. Rodriguez's trainer, Robert Garcia, confirmed that his fight is ready, is already in the Riverside, California gym for the bout. Like I said, he's already in training camp. Okay? Check this out. Legendary shit. After debuting as a light flyweight and fighting at less than 110 pounds, in late 2021, Rodriguez jumped at the chance to fight for the WBC super flyweight title in early 2022, knocking down veteran former world champion Carlos Cuadras to win by decision. Then moving on to score a 6-round TKO 4 months later, y'all, against another of the division's best fighter, Sarung Fasai. It goes on to say, if you look up the last decades of the super flyweight division, it was like they had their own version of the Four Kings. You know what I'm saying? With Kudra, Sarung Fasai, Juan Francisco Estrada, and Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Bam has taken on 3 of them already, and now he goes after another solid veteran. It's an unbelievable pace. It is. It is. Real talk. Rodriguez went back down to flyweight to win and unify there against Christian Gonzalez Hernandez and Sonny Edwards. And then on June 29th, he knocked out Estrada with a vicious 7th-round body punch. God damn, Bam was out here just kicking ass, boy. Rodriguez prepared for Estrada by sparring with 4-division champion Gonzalez in sessions that could have justified $1,000 ringside seats. That mean they was going at it, bro. $1,000 ringside seats for those sparring? I believe him. I believe him. Fighting in Philly seems an odd choice. You see what I'm saying? Considering the interest Rodriguez had in fighting next either at home in San Antonio, back in Arizona, or Las Vegas. That's what I'm saying. They're grabbing and giving Bam Rodriguez much more exposure on different areas. You know what I'm saying? Different boxing footprints with different fighters who's supposed to have a bigger name than him. A matchroom boxing fighter. Okay, this is where it takes a turn, y'all. Understand where I'm at with this. A matchroom boxing fighter, Rodriguez, all action style, is needed for a card expected. It's N-E-E-D-E-D. It's 3 E's in that motherfucker. And all those E's is for Rodriguez. Exemplary. Excellent. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough. This article, I haven't even read it yet. And it's making all the same sense that I was saying. Entertaining for a card expected to be headlined by unbeaten welterweight champion Jerron Ennis in a highly criticized IBF mandatory title defense against Korean Chudik. They say highly criticized, y'all. Highly criticized. Highly. Look. This is Matchroom. When they said Rodriguez, when boxing scene said Rodriguez, they said all action style. When they said Ennis, highly criticized. Somebody better throw the life raft out to Ennis and tell him he better fight on the co-main event. In Mexico, Guevara, 35. Rodriguez meets a fighter coming off a May 12th split decision triumph over Andrew Maloney in Australia that caused Maloney to retire. Yeah, I remember when his wife was up there making a scene and, oh my God, y'all robbed my husband. It says Estrada was empowered to invoke a rematch against Rodriguez, but instead opted to move up to bantamweight division, y'all. Look, you know you're a bad man when you're forcing people to move up to the next division. Come on, man. Juan Estrada was in the back half of the pound-for-pound list when he was up there at Superfly. And now he's saying, bye-bye. I'm going up to 118. Bye-bye. Hasta mañana. I'm gone. He said, I thought about that rematch, but I thought about that ass whooping too. And I said, you know what? I'll live to fight another day. I'm going up here at my age to 118 and fight at bantamweight. I'm done. I just wanted to, read that article out there because the language says it all. And yes, Bam is that guy. Real talk. Bam is that mother effing guy. And though people are gonna feel some type of way, You're gonna have these individuals that try to say that no way do I know what I'm talking about. Boots should be the main event because it's in Philly. And I'm saying, hey, you're right when you're talking about the fight being in Philly. He should be able to walk in there and be the main event. Absolutely. But when it comes to whether he rather he let's see, if he paid attention to what transpired post fight with Shakur Stevenson and how people were saying and putting those frames out there that Crawford was sleeping and Andre Ward and all them, and then people was leaving the arena. I don't know how much emphasis he gave to that, how much seriousness, but his would be much worse because for one, he ain't Shakur Stevenson. Okay, for one, two, that was Shakur hometown, Newark, New Jersey. People gonna say, "Oh, this Philly, this Philly." You saw the reaction that they had, yeah, because he hasn't did that. You know what I'm saying? Humans in the sport of boxing are different when it comes to pleasing them. And at the end of the day, they was happy to see Ennis come over there and put on a show at the Wells Fargo. They seen what they seen, but he didn't get a phenomenal knockout. He didn't close the show. The doctor had to go in there and put the close sign up. The doctor had to come in there and cut the lights off and say, "This is the final call, final call. Get your concessions now. It'll be closing in 15 minutes." They gave people, the patrons, fair warning that the fight's about to be over because the doctor was going to come over there and try to act like they couldn't understand what Avenesian was talking about. But one thing we know for sure is that you dumped a wad when you was on the co-main event of Gervonta Tank Davis, El Chin Checker, and you did not look good, spinning 360, doing some crazy shit, and you just didn't leave that impression in the boxing in the eyes of the boxing fans for Korean Chudigan. And then the crazy part about his deployment back up to become your mandatory. Oh my God. Oh my God, yo, how in the fuck did that cycle happen? Who put that electric bike up there? How in the hell did this dude cycle his way back up to the mandatory for Jerron Ennis show? Does anybody have the answers? Anybody? I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Does anybody have the answers as to how Korean Chudigan could align himself back as the mandatory for Jerron and is how, in what shape or form, atmospheric pressure could this happen? Can somebody please drop those any type of hints in the chat, please? They don't have to be form fitting responses. They can be a little loose, stretched out. You know what I'm saying? They can be widely guessing. You know what I'm saying? Just playing a little game of guessing. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be on point. You know what I'm saying? Precise. No, just take a wild guess. How did Corinne make it back up to the mandatory when Boots just signed with Matchroom and his declaration is to become welterweight undisputed? How in the hell did we wind up back with Corinne You trying to tell me at 147 pounds there are no pool keepers? Where are the lifeguards? You trying to tell me they only fill the pool up with 2 to 3 feet of water, even in the deep end? They trying to tell me the main pool wasn't open, but the kiddie pool was open. And that's how deep the motherfucking welterweight division was? Is that what you trying to tell me? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's crazy. But I appreciate everyone pulling up. OG Mr. Golden on deck. Salute to you. It seems like Boot's career has been influenced by someone who wasn't confident in his skills. Thus, you have a 30-plus fight boxer with a bunch of tomato cans on his resume. I don't know if there's tomato cans, though. I don't know if those tomato cans. Because tomato cans have structure. Some of them are very good aluminum. Solid! These might just be tomatoes. You know what happened? You know, if I put a tomato in a can and close the lid and throw it at a wall, if I go pick that can up and turn it upside down, that tomato might still be intact. If I got there and grab a tomato and throw that motherfucker at a wall with no can supporting it, that shit splatting. I think that was just tomatoes, y'all. Seriously, I think it was just tomatoes. It wasn't no support around that bitch, nothing. Believe me when I tell you. I am absolutely being honest, man. I want to transition off boxing, and I'm going to speak briefly on this shit. Okay? And salute to everybody that's hit the like button. I appreciate you. Continue to support the channel. I'm going to speak briefly on this because I really don't care to jump out and do live streams on what's going on with Sean Combs. But this is what I'll say. He was denied bond, right? Because the whole deal was he actually moved up to New York believing, I guess, through the advice of his counsel, they felt that it would behoove him to move to New York, being that that's where he was going to get arrested and face the charges at. So it was better for him just to have, a resident up there, potentially able to get bail once he got to that point, because he was arrested yesterday. But going to court, people see things, right? And with any judicial system, you're going to have male and females. That's both on the bench. That's with the bar. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the defense or the prosecutor. Okay. When that video leaked out of Diddy, abusing, a woman like that. I mean, the raw footage. I know right then they looked at Diddy as an out of control lunatic, a black man that had too much power, and it was only a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? It was only a freaking matter of time. I'm not talking about they wasn't investigating him at that point. I'm saying that he was granted no bail, so they consider him to be a risk. Somebody had put out there that it seems like Diddy was about to flee before he was arrested. And then on the flip side, I heard that his counsel, informed him that he was going to be indicted. So since he already had a dwelling up there in New York, you seen what went down. They arrested him. He was out. They arrested him, and then I was waiting for him to come out of the court today, but they denied him bond. So the bigger question comes into play. Where's Diddy going to be at? He's going to be somewhere in Brooklyn, I guess, confined into pretrial until during pretrial up to his date to go before and start his trial. I guess he's gonna be in the shoe. You know, they're not gonna put him in GP. It's not gonna happen. But the wild part about Sean Combs is the speculation. Like, back in the day when all these relationships, when you seen these hip hop artists that you listen to, I listened to back in the day, come to find out they had relationships with such young girls, right? The wild part about what puts Sean Combs in somewhat the same space as some of these other guys like Epstein and shit is the fact that you know they're saying the racketeering situation, and there's rumor out there that there may have been some young girls. I don't know, allegedly, okay. um just the whole point of alleged the video evidence that was seized from his property, the photos that were seized from his property, countless of individuals who may be potential witness, the heavy hitters. Supposedly they have already been spoken to. A lot of people came forward behind the scenes and wanted to remain anonymous, of course, that have told their truth about freaking Combs, man. They told their truth about Combs. Real talk. They told their truth. And being on the outside, we don't know exactly how many victims there were, or how many people that was being extorted. He had weapons that was defaced with no serial numbers. We don't know how many individuals he strong armed or intimidated not to say anything. We don't know if anything going to come out in court about Kim Porter's death, how people accusing him of killing her, how Tupac is coming up now. It's a lot of information that's coming out that, of course, it's only, the racketeering charge and all that shit, man. Oh my God. And then, they're saying there may be superseding charges that, when this gets going, you know what I'm saying? When this finally goes to the court, more people come forward, there may be superseding charges that's placed on Combs moving forward, because I don't know exactly when he's going to be in court for his trial to start, but them denying him bail is a message. It's a message. Like, we seen Bill Cosby get locked up. We seen OJ. We seen so many of these, R. Kelly's in jail, but I'm just saying, like, they denied this man. This man is considered to be a billionaire, and he was willing to put a $50 million home up as collateral for a bond. And they denied this man bond, y'all. They denied his bond. He agreed to put a $50 million dwelling. Look. And he has the deed to it. He has nothing to pay on it. It is paid off. A $50 million home he agreed to put up as collateral, and they denied his bond, y'all. They consider him to be a threat. Look, there must have been so many people coming and say, I fear for my life with him. I fear, I'm feeling I'm in danger. If this comes out, I don't want my name to come nowhere close to this man. He is dangerous. How can they deny him bond? Hold on for a second, y'all. So, regardless of him suggesting to put up a home that's worth 50 million, and he is rated as being a billionaire, that was a telltale sign that they ain't playing. the wildest part about this, y'all, is that this may be the last hurrah for Diddy when it comes to his freedom, because he's in his 50s now. And for him to go down like this, he may potentially get a minimal of 20. Minimal. He won't be out to 70 something. You know, I mean, who he is as a person, you know what I'm saying? All his freaking connections that he have in the industry, all that's it's about to be gone. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be gone. And then all the collateral, you know what I'm saying, expenses, residual expenses that he have to keep those homes, maintenance, you know, the property tax on the home, who's going to be handling his finances? Is he set up to have residual income enough while he's locked up and not be out and being a part of making, you know, I heard some sponsors dropped him. I heard some people wash their hands with him when that video dropped of him beating up that female. So yeah. This is definitely gonna be the talk of for a long time to come. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the headline news. People are gonna be keeping a close eye on this shit. Of all the information that's gonna start to filter its way out to the general public about things that Combs was a part of and the people that was affected by it. It was a lot of people affected by this shit. And you're gonna see them starting to talk up more and more now of the ones who just kept their mouth shut because this nigga was still out here on the street. You know what I'm saying? And now he's finally gonna be. They denied his bond. Shit, that means to me they had already talked to some heavy hitters already, and they believed it. And then when they went up there and raided his home, they probably was up there looking at all that shit. They say, God damn, this dude is a menace. This dude right here is predatorial. This is a dangerous person, man. And please, they ain't give a damn about no money. They say, no, your bond is denied. You ain't out here goddamn trying to find out who been saying what, you know what I'm saying, and all that shit and all that. No, we shutting that down. They shutting that down, y'all. It's Puff Daddy to go to jail. Donald Trump needs to go to jail. Hey, we'll see what's up. Because the two in comparison is not the same, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? They're not the same. They both criminals. But they're not the same when it comes to notoriety. You know, pull. I don't think Diddy has more pull than Trump. Else Trump would be locked up already. And just to exaggerate just a little bit more, you know, he was the president at one point in time. So if he's not elected into office, I'm pretty sure we may see him being indicted again and finally standing trial for his shit. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how it all plays out. I mean, Mace, he's where is that? You know, Mace don't have the shit to say. Shit. They got a nice little PC going on, him and freaking Cam. You know what I'm saying? And they doing good things over there, bro. I don't know if they're gonna start, you know, they're gonna be calling some of these cats up that worked with Diddy in the past, you know, up to the stand. I want to know if this case is gonna be something that's accessible to the public. I would definitely like to see this case. I would definitely like to see this case. You know what I'm saying? I'd definitely like to see this. But hey, shout out to everyone who pulled up. Big salute to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side Official. Till next time, man, y'all hold it down. Peace. I'm out.